My name's Piers. I'm Head of Product Management for Huntsman Security. We make security monitoring and threat detection solutions. I'm also a director of the IISP, so I have my day job and then a secondary role as well. Well, I took the MSc at Royal Holloway back in the 90s, 96, so I got into information security that way. Following my graduation, I worked at Vodafone in their communications security department, then in consultancy for Insight Consulting for several years, moving on to PwC, and then 2 years ago I joined Huntsman to drive their technology and help with their marketing, sales, comms, and as I say, the product strategy, which is the main thread. Well, it's quite a varied role. I get involved in working with the R&D and the development team and the chief architects. I liaise quite closely with engineering and support teams here in the UK and in Australia. We're an Australian company, so my boss actually is based in Sydney. I also do a lot of our analyst relations, quite a lot of the PR, the marketing, actually being a spokesperson, a bit of an evangelist for the solution. And we've got good technology, so it's good to be able to talk about it. Well, really, the variety is one of the things that I get a lot out of. Having the communication side, working with sales, working with technologists, but also, of course, with variety comes the fact that you have a lot of things to do, a lot of plates to spin. I suppose the other thing would be that we're not a huge company, so that means that you've got a lot of flexibility, a lot of autonomy. But on the other hand, you don't have a huge behemoth of an organisation behind you at all times. So that again, of course, can have its pros and cons. Well, I think cybersecurity is such a hot topic that there's no shortage of sources. There are a multitude of sites on the internet. There's a lot of analyst material, a lot of white papers. There's a huge number of surveys that are produced that give people advice. But it's also a very rich community. So we see at the conference here today that there are a whole load of people that are in this industry and have been for a while. So there are plenty of sources of networking and expertise and information. And if you throw yourself into that community, if you participate in the events, if you build your network, build relationships, then actually there's almost no one that you couldn't go to and ask the questions. So it's a very powerful group really from that point of view. Well, I think the main thing with security is you've got to enjoy change. Security and technology changes at an astronomical pace. And of course, the people that are attacking our systems, attacking our networks, are constantly adapting themselves as well. So it's not an industry that stands still. So you've got to be aware of that and I think want to continue to learn. I think the second thing I'd say is the network as an industry in its own right. So there is a degree of value in just throwing yourself into it. If you treat it as just a job, something you do from 9 to 5, then it's unlikely you'll get as much out of it as if you really participate in the research that happens, the various industry groups, the bodies, the professionalisation initiatives within CREST, within IISP, and whether it's government, financial, enterprise, public sector, there's a huge amount of both resources and routes into the industry. I mean, the last 3 jobs I've had came from people I knew rather than going through the recruitment process. So, that I think just shows how close-knit an organisation it can be.